Quantry here, and today I'm going to talk about the Nintendo Direct that we just had for February 9th. Figured I'd just do it in the minicast format. And for convenience purposes, I'm going to put the link to the Direct in the description below. And I'm sure most, if you find yourself here, you already seen the Direct or heard the Direct or no news, but pretty much want to give my little recap of it and my commentary, opinions, and all that. So let's get into it. So they started the Direct with announcement of a new Fire Emblem game, but more specifically Fire Emblem Warriors. So doing a new one based off the Three Houses game, coming out in June of this year. It seems cool. I know a lot of people were hoping for a new Fire Emblem game, so I'm not sure if this. I'm disappointed that it's more of a spin-off versus another sequel. Even though the Three Houses does seem pretty recent, it was a pretty big title. And I actually never really played much of the Warriors game. I know Zelda has two other one that we made, and then the previous Fire Emblem Warriors. They seem fun. I don't know. I just haven't quite jumped into them because the last time I played one was a Samurai Warriors game. Because I know those are like Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, lots of Warriors. So it looks neat, but it might be one I pass on. Next, they talked about Advance Wars, the 1 and 2 remake. There's a few updates I know has been announced for a while. It is coming April 8th, I believe. And some of the updates, I kind of like the presentation with some voice acting animation, so it looks like a really beefed up remake. Even though I believe they're Game Boy Advance games. I forget, because I know the series has some NES titles like Nintendo Wars, I think is how it started. But it looks nice. I think they updated some mechanics. You have like custom maps, even multiplayer and stuff like that. So it seems pretty neat. I'm kind of on the fence of checking that out, but it seems like a really good remake, updated port of the game. So I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that. Next is No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch this summer, and that's another game I'm probably going to just keep passing on. I know it had a really rocky launch, really bad reception when it first came out, a lot of disappointment. But from what I hear from friends and others online, it really made a big turnaround. It is seemed like a really good, solid game. So it's definitely a much better title than it initially was, and it's coming to Switch. So I guess that's neat for people who like the game, who want to check it out and don't have a good console besides the Switch. So yeah, No Man's Sky coming to Switch. And next one is the new Mario sports game, the Mario Strikers Battle League, and it's based off the soccer series. Coming in June, June 10th, I have noted down. It seems pretty neat. I haven't played the previous soccer game. I'm trying to think there was one or two. I forget. I don't really get into the Mario sports game much myself. One thing that looks kind of appealing is you can really customize your characters with different equipment and gear and affects your stats in the game. I'm going to be a little hesitant because I know a lot of the recent Mario Sports game have been kind of a letdown. I guess they might be a little bit better than the predecessors because I know like people were looking forward to Mario Tennis, and then when the game came out, it was like eh. Then when Mario Golf came out, it was like oh yay, and then like eh. So I'm not sure if this is going to follow the same formula, the same pattern. I get it just because with the presentation they showed so far in the direct. I think if I know sports games, this will probably be the better of the titles. I just want to say the previous strikers, the soccer games, have been a little bit more better received than other Mario sports game spin-off. But yeah, it's coming out in June. And the next thing that's kind of more a bigger deal is that they put more details about Splatoon 3, mostly to confirm that Salmon Run mode is going to be in the game. A lot of people were like concerned about that. I know that was a really big mode that everyone loved in Splatoon 2. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be back, so we're glad to get that confirmation. And I guess it has a few new mechanics. I saw part like you can throw eggs to your teammates, and I think you can throw it to the little goal thing. It showed off a lot of new bosses and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if they announced it, but it does have a summer release for Splatoon 3. And one thing I liked about the trailer is that they had like a giant boss. I call him Godzilla Salmon, so they had like a big giant boss and all that. Next on my notes, I have, I guess it's a remake Front Mission First, coming this summer. like a strategy RPG game with mechs and robots. And I never heard this game before, like the older title or the older release, but it's from Square Enix, coming this summer. And then they did announce that the sequel is also going to get a remake, but I don't think we have much details of that. So it looks kind of neat, but we'll see. Sometimes I feel like there's so many RPGs out there, even though I do love my Square Enix. So we'll see. Okay. Next, a game from Disney, Disney Speedstorm, coming out this summer with kart racing game. And I first saw this, it's like a Mario Kart competitor and all that. Like, I might pass, but they did announce it is free to play in cross-platform. I think that free is gonna encourage me to check it out because it looks neat. It looks like a very good, competent kart racer with like power-ups and all that. I'm sure it's gonna have like a bunch of annoying like in-app purchases. I keep saying in-app because that's why mine goes to when I think of like free to play. I'm sure they're gonna have like buy skin, so hopefully like the purchase or monetization of the game won't be too bad or bring it down. So want to check that out, a Disney kart racer. And next they announced the Star Wars The Force Unleashed is getting a remake port, like updated version for Switch this April. I haven't played that game. I think the only game around that era I really played was the old Knights of the Old Republic, but I heard that one was really good. I'm trying to think if it was in like Mortal Kombat or one of. I believe that the main character of that game like had a cameo in a fighting game. I just can't recall. Mortal Kombat seems to mind, but it could be Soul Calibur or something like that. But yeah, a remake of a pretty good, from what I hear, pretty good received Star Wars game. And next, they're gonna have the Assassin's Creed a trilogy, the Ezio collection. I never really jumped into the game. They seem pretty neat, so I might check it out. But yeah, just kind of like this being ported to the Switch, and I mentioned like some updates to like the controls. Like I think in handheld you can do some touch based stuff too, so it's kind of like updated with the Switch in mind. But yeah, Assassin's Creed coming to Switch. And then they have an SD Gundam Battle Alliance game coming out this year. I don't. I might check it out. I'm not sure. I never really got into the Gundam series, the animes or the games, but it seems pretty cool for Gundam fans and all that. So Gundam, I'm not sure it's more like RPG ish or whatever, but it seems kind of neat. Okay, this next part got me really excited. Coming out on April 7th, they're gonna finally remake, remaster, or whatever you want to call it, Chrono Cross. So this is like the I don't know if you would say it's a sequel to Chrono Trigger or it's like one of the spiritual successor kind of thing. But yeah, it's finally getting ported. I'm not sure if it's going to be I'm pretty sure it is going to be ported to other consoles or maybe on Steam. I haven't done much research besides seeing the direct. But yeah, it's going to be on Switch. And it's going to have they say a new soundtrack. So that's going to be a big update to it. And it says it also includes Radical Dreamers, which I think I heard about a little bit. It's kind of like a text-based game from what it said. But it's kind of like a prequel that kind of sets up the events of Chrono Cross. So a little more the collection, but really glad because Chrono Cross, I remember back in the day when it was on PlayStation, getting all the characters because it's like over 40. You had to like beat the game multiple times, like or like do different choices and stuff like that. So I think that was the fun. It's like getting all the characters and all that, even though this feel like had to be part of my team. I like the mechanics too, so looking forward for Chrono Cross. Next, more about Kirby's Forgotten Land. So that game coming out next month. I know we got a lot of details about it and all that, but a little bit more. They did show off a new mechanic. I think it's pretty neat. It's called the mouthful. Like, it's like for example, he like try to swallow a car, but it's too big of a mouthful that he can't swallow the car, but he still like drives it around. They showed like one with like a scissor lift with a vending machine shooting out cans. So it's like a variation of copy abilities, but kind of really neat. A lot of it looks like object based. So it's like more new mechanics and all that. I can show off like I'm not sure if they mentioned this before, but I talked about like how the Waddle Dee town can grow and stuff like that. And I think this was new to this direct is that you can actually evolve and power up your copy abilities. So that looks really neat too. So I'm not sure exactly how the copy ability is gonna work. Like if you evolve them, is it gonna be that way every time you find that ability, or are you gonna always have the copy abilities you can switch on the fly? Because I remember that in Kirby Superstar, one of the final adventure games in the collection is instead of like getting copy abilities from swallowing enemies, you collect them and then you can switch them on the fly. So I wonder if they're gonna do that, or you just have to find any with the power and you can use it, but you can have a permanent evolution or something like that. I'm kind of curious of how that plays out, but definitely looks cool. And I think they also kind of, I'm not sure if they've seen this like in little videos or anything like that, like, with Twitter, social media, and like how they promote the game, but kind of more of the tag as a game. I guess they call it the Beast Pack. And showed some more bosses and bosses design. I think like near the end, like they showed like the main villain about to spin around. Like, yeah, that's King DDD. So I'm pretty sure King DDD is behind that, but it looks like a more presented story. Even though I haven't played the most recent Kirby game adventure, I think the last one was the one on the Wii. But it looks really good and kind of cool to see some more new mechanics. It's not just like every Kirby game where you like copy and repeat, a copy and paste, whatever. And next, they just talked about MLB, the baseball game, the show, coming to Switch. I don't care, but it's coming to Switch. And then they talked about Kingdom Hearts because it just came out, the cloud version, and yeah, it's pretty much a reminder. But I'm not sure how well that's gonna do because from what I heard so far, I know they had playable demos of it beforehand. I think it's just gonna be really poor received just because of the cloud version aspect. And I talked about it on one of my podcasts as well, but just like I don't see why at least the older games. I could understand maybe the third game being a cloud version. The previous game collection, I don't see why it can't be like actual copies, either digital or physical. Because like PlayStation 3 had those games collections as well, and Switch is like the next generation of that PS3. So it's like, why did they make these decisions and all that? Okay, next they announced some, I believe, some ports for the series Klonoa, kind of more action platformer. I heard this character, heard this franchise. I never jumped into it myself. I think there's like older games from the SNES or was it SNES or Genesis, like older 2Ds, but it's like more of the later games, I guess. Looks pretty neat. So fun platformer coming to the Switch. And then they also announced ports of Portal 1 and 2 coming out this year for the Switch. I never really played them. I think a lot of people who love the series already played them, so I'm not sure how well it's going to do on a Switch, but kind of need to have like a portable version of it and updates, and maybe people who haven't dipped their toes into the series. Even I don't know if they get plan on doing more with it besides the first two games, if they're going to make a sequel down the road. Uh, but yeah, Portal coming to the Switch. Okay, and this is kind of neat announcement. A game called Live Alive, which kind of a pretty neat looking RPG game, but I guess it never got released outside of Japan, at least out to the US officially. So it's like an updated port re-release from Square Enix. The presentation looks pretty cool too. I'm sure they have like dedicated team because it looks like the same presentation of like Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy and all that. So it looks really cool. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a full price game with it being a portable older game, but it looks really nice and updated, and especially if those, especially since it was never translated to English, pretty cool title to check out. And next one, they announced a new sports game, Nintendo Switch Sports. So I think it's kind of more like the Wii Sports that we had back in the day. And yeah, it looks neat. I don't know. I'll go into it a little bit more, but the sports game comes with tennis, bowling, Kambara, that sword fighting game, uh, soccer, badminton, and volleyball. Coming this April. So it looks really cool. And I guess if you get the physical copy, you get this leg strap. It looks like the same leg strap that comes with Refit Adventure. It's in a soccer mode. You can use it to do the shootout mode where you just kind of like kick and all that. And I see they're going to update it later for you to use that in the actual soccer mode. But it seems like a lot of it kind of like encourages the motion controls with the Joy-Cons. I'm sure you can play with the regular controls as well. So I don't think they're going to force you to use motion controls. So the bowling seems pretty cool. The tennis classic. That's what I liked about those games on this Wii. It's good, fun to have, fun to like casual people to play like with your cousins or family members, even nephews and stuff like that. It did announce, like I said, with update with the soccer, but they're also announcing that they're going to update it with golf. And I'm not sure if they're going to plan on adding other games too, because I would also like to see like they bring back boxing or they bring back baseball. Those would be cool ones to bring back. I kind of wish it would have golf included, like instead of waiting for update, this like maybe delay a game a little bit to get more fuller initial release on that. And they are announcing later in the month. You can check the direct for exact dates as well. I'm sure that Nintendo has a specific video for the sports game. Is that they're gonna have an online play test so people can kind of play it early and test it out. And next they have that a new title for that taiko drum, that little drumming game coming out. It looks just like a updated sequel, or whatever, like the same kind of game. It looks like they added a lot more to the gameplay, like different modes and stuff like that. And it's going to be 76 songs, um, including Megalovania from Undertale, which seemed pretty fun. And they also like the Zelda orchestrated theme. It's called Rhythm Festival. Looks pretty fun. It also mentioned like a membership that includes 500 songs. I'm not sure if they're gonna carry over a lot of old songs from the series. I'm not sure how the membership's gonna work out. Like if you need a specific one for this title, so it seems like it's gonna have a lot of good content for those who like that rhythm game. Next, they talked more about Triangle Strategy that's coming out. Um, Not really too much added. Looks really cool. You got to see more of the gameplay and presentation. They did announce, I'm not sure if they updated this, but the demo is now going to go up to Chapter 3. I think what they also did, you're going to have it so your save data can transfer. So when you actually get the game, you can carry your progress over. I know they did that for Octopath Traveler. And I think that's been kind of a trend too. Like, I think if that was a previous Switch game, I'm trying to think, I can't remember. But like if you play the demo and then you actually get the game, you can carry it. Oh, the Metopia did that. That's what I'm thinking of. And I think that's a kind of cool idea, translating the demo to the game, and then when you actually get the game, you don't have to start over and replay what you already played. And next, small thing, but Cuphead, the DLC is coming out in June. And I'm not sure if that's on all platforms or if Switch is getting that a little bit later, because I don't know if it feels like old news with the DLC, but it's coming to Switch in June. Then they also announced an update for Metroid Dread. So new modes, like a really hardcore mode and a easy like rookie mode. It looks like in the hard mode, I haven't played the game. It's on my to playlist. I haven't even bought it yet, but they have like a mode that you die in one hit, like literally one hit and you die. And I'm sure that you can save. Like it's not like a hardcore mode. Like if you die, you have to start from the beginning. So I'm sure the save points, but pretty much you die in just one hit. That'd be impossible. That'd be like so frustrating, impossible if you started from the beginning every time. If you had to do a full Metroid Dread run without getting a single hit. And then the rookie mode, I think it's just that you regenerate life, so you can like that life restore. And they also announced that in April they're going to include a boss rush mode as well, which would be fun. And a lot of people like playing it, speed running, and playing it over and over. So boss rush mode, of course, there's a free update too. Seems pretty cool. Okay, and a big announcement. Well, I say big, but it's older titles. But they announced for Nintendo Switch Online, we did it, and Nintendo heard us. We are getting Earthbound games, and I believe the Earthbound for SNES. I think that's Mother 2, but they're giving it the Earthbound name because they went for the NES Mother. They're calling it Earthbound Beginnings. Well, I think they call it Earthbound Beginnings because I believe when they did the Virtual Console for Wii or Wii U that they called Mother Earthbound Beginnings. But we're getting the first two Earthbound Mother games finally, and I think they dropped when the direct. So now check this out. Now we just need Super Mario RPG, and then we know Nintendo finally listens. Oh, better yet, we need Mother 3. That's what we're waiting for, Mother 3. So if they actually made those ports to the Switch Online, maybe we might get Mother 3, because I believe that never came to the US. It's in Japan, but I believe if you look out there, you can find like really well translated versions of the game. I think out there, but it'd be kind of cool if Nintendo actually acknowledged and actually made a actual official Mother 3. I'm not sure how they would call it. If it would probably be Earthbound and some uh, subtitle, whatever to it. And after that, they had a little montage. Didn't really care too much about these games. Like one called like Zombie Army 4. There was like a Lego Brawl game. Yeah, I heard this. I believe it's the Demon Slayer, the fighting games they have out. Uh, it looks really good. Demon Slayer is one of my favorite animes as well. It looks cool that it's coming to Switch. Okay, and another big announcement, and I kind of had a little mixed feelings about this. I kind of got hopes up and then kind of, because they're talking about Mario Kart, and like, oh my god, is it going to be the Mario Kart 9 people were talking about? Because I know that I think they officially announced that the next title is in development with a new twist, but it's a DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and pay DLC. So I kind of like made a sigh of disappointment when I heard paid DLC, but I guess that makes sense. Since the game isn't out for so long, I'm surprised that they even made this for the game. But we're gonna get 48 courses. I believe all of them are going to be from previous Mario Kart games. They're going to be coming in 6 waves. So we do the math. Yeah, 8. So you're going to get waves at 8 courses. The first wave is going to come out next month, March 18th. And I said in Direct that it's going to end by the end of 2023. So it's going to be kind of drip feed and over a year, like a little less than 2 years. So we got this year and next year. So they're going to stretch it out for 48 courses. It's going to be from previous titles, like talked about like Mario 64, all that. They also talked about one from the Mario Kart Tour game. That's the mobile game. So we kind of need to see. I haven't checked that out. I'm not sure it's worth checking out the Mario Kart mobile game. I'm sure it's making them a lot of money. So I might see some tracks from that game as well. And finally, a big nice announcement for the end of the direct is the next title in Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicle 3, coming in September of this year. It looks really cool. The presentation looks really cool. I actually never played a series ever, so but I might check it out. I'm not sure about just checking out the previous games as well. I don't know, sometimes I just feel kind of intimidated to like jump into a big series or something like really big involved game. But my impact is that looks really cool. If I were to play a series, I wouldn't mind jumping straight into that game. It looks great as well, and I'm glad fans of the series, diehard fans, are getting a really nice big sequel, nice big juicy, delicious. I don't know why I'm using those kind of adjectives to it, but yeah, it looks a really great game, and that wraps it up. Some things I was a little disappointed in is that nothing about the mentioned new Donkey Kong game that's rumored to be in development, and again, my usual complaints as well is that franchises that we haven't heard much of or they haven't really done much with, like Star Fox and F-Zero comes to mind. But yeah, we'll see, and we kind of interested if they would announce like more of the uh, Nintendo Switch, the N64. Although I did not buy the expansion, I don't really have much plans to, but it'd be nice to see the update. I don't even think that halfway through the games they announced that are coming out to the service and all that, but it would be nice if we got Game Boy Advance or Game Boy. But I think another pie in the sky thing is if they would have announced Golden Sun. I don't think there's anything with that franchise besides adding Isaac as a assist trophy in Smash, and that's one of my secret like hoping like if they like announce an additional season pass or fighters pass for Smash Bros Ultimate, even though I'm 99.9% that's never gonna happen because it seems like Sakurai like even it said like hey, yep that's it. It'd probably be a good while before we get anything new with Smash. Like it's probably gonna be the next generation of Nintendo consoles and all that. So I don't think any updates or anything like that. But yeah, well, thanks for listening to my little recap opinions of the Nintendo Direct. I think it was not good. I remember the last direct that they had, I was a little, I think it was the E3 one, but I was like a little let down a tiny bit, but I kind of like appreciated it a little bit more afterwards. But some cool stuff. Listen, flipping through, so pretty much to run on the quick highlights. Fire Emblem War games, neat. Advance Wars, neat. No Man's Sky, whatever. Mario Striker, seems cool. Good to know about Splatoon that the Salmon Rush is confirmed. Front Mission, first remake, let me check it out. Disney Kart Racer, free to play. Seems neat. Star Wars Force Unleashed, getting a port. Assassin's Creed coming to Switch. Gundam game coming to Switch. Chrono Cross, can't wait for that. Gonna definitely check out that port coming in April. More details about Kirby game, cool. Baseball game, whatever. Kingdom Hearts, Floa, seems neat. Live Alive, that's pretty cool. And Switch Sports, seems pretty neat. Well, hopefully comes out to be pretty solid and see how much they update that game. But pretty much Wii Sports for Switch. Rhythm drum game, cool. Triangle strategy, seems cool. Cuphead DLC, neat. Metroid Dread update, neat. Earthbound, very cool. Mario Kart seems pretty good. We'll see. I forgot to mention it does have a $25 price tag as well. So at least more Mario Kart content, even though it's kind of like updated tracks of previous titles. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 seems pretty cool. So we'll see. So, well, anyways, thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe to help support the channel. Comment below what your thoughts on the Direct are. And have a good rest of your day. Bye.